to work off of the CST text, but moved to delete language on green job creation that it found overly prescriptive. Norway proposed language on worker access to fundamental rights and principles in the workplace. The EU stressed the importance of greening existing jobs in addition to creating new green jobs. And several delegates agreed on deleting examples of potential green jobs that they felt, as they felt that the list was non-exhaustive and kind of unnecessary to include. All non-CST text was deleted between paragraphs 73 and 77, which was great. At which point Switzerland moved to retain text on social protection for those not employed in the formal economy, gaining indigenous knowledge through prior and informed consent, and cooperatively protecting the rights of migrants. So next was text on oceans and seas, and G77 moved to replace CST text with its previously submitted paragraphs, stating a concern that some of the elements introduced in the CST text did not reflect any previous submissions. The US moved to insert science-based approaches throughout the text, and the EU made several insertions highlighting the most vulnerable and least developed countries. In reference to technology and marine protection, the US stressed that technology transfer must be voluntary and on mutually agreed upon terms and conditions. And the EU, Iceland, and Monaco supported the inclusion of a blue economy. The EU and Iceland moved to retain their respective alternative paragraphs on marine biodiversity protection, both of which were more focused than the CST text. The EU, Monaco, and New Zealand and Australia moved to add text noting the slow progress on establishing marine protected areas in the past, while Canada moved to delete this text, and the US moved to delete this, as well as all text reaffirming the need for international law on marine protected areas. The EU and Monaco expressed discomfort over this proposed deletion. And then finally, in addressing pollution, the EU proposed text referencing human activities specifically affecting the marine environment, and Norway proposed text limiting ocean fertilization to legitimate scientific research. While the US moved to delete all text on fertilization on the basis that it's being discussed in other fora, and the G77 moved to retain its more concise text on eliminating ocean fertilization unless or until it's scientifically justified, and also proposed text on preventing and recovering marine litter. That was it.
Thank you very much for that very thorough presentation. In the